Hi, everyone. Day 7 of my vulnerability with empowerment experiment. Yesterday, I mentioned that I'm really considering just going through this whole deck here of all the vulnerable questions from the Ask Deep Questions deck. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. If I haven't had a lot of people engage with me, but it's irrelevant. This has been such an amazing process for me, and all the questions that I've been sharing and answering. And I really encourage you all to take some time with those questions with yourself. And I think I even suggested yesterday that to do this on camera is a really interesting process, whether you share it or not. It's proven to be really quite powerful for myself. So I encourage you to give it a shot. On that note, I'm going to shuffle the remaining questions here, and there's like a dozen left. Oh, and I just had a card fall out of it. Let's see what it is. Boom. Who taught you how to love? So, as I've shared in past videos, I knew love in my family. I always felt love from my mom, my dad, and my stepdad, the man that raised me. They truly we were affectionate. I received hugs and kisses, and we said we loved each other. And so, I learned that through my parents, and I did see affection between them, so that was nice as well. And as far as in my intimate connections, it wasn't until in my mid-20s that I really, that's not true, early 20s when I remember my first real love. And it was a woman, unfortunately, she was married. That's the thing. We never had an affair or anything like that, but I really loved her, and I allowed myself to feel it really deeply, where it was, I remember being, it was like one of the first times in my life that I allowed myself, I really stretched my capacity for love, right? And also, this acceptance that it was a love that I couldn't actually explore necessarily, So I remember that was like kind of the beginning of me allowing myself to choose to love, choose to stretch my capacity for love. And a lot of my relationships afterwards were just allowed me just to continue to stretch my capacity to love more and more, where I didn't hold back. I really allowed myself to feel. I allowed myself to express my love and affection, and it was received in those partners, and even more so with each one, to the point now where I allowed me said to bring my beloved in my life, but ultimately it was always in relation to how much I loved myself. The more I learned how to love myself fully, the more deeper the connections, my intimate connections were. And I've called in a few. Oh man, my last relationships, my last 3 relationships, such being one. Well, no, the last 2 relationships before Sasha were full on karmic soulmates. These were deep loves, where it was almost irrational. I didn't even fully understand it, the depth of the love, and it was, it stretched me. It stretched my capacity for love in such a way that it was intense, but it was amazing. And it said ultimately what has allowed me to now be in this relationship with my beloved is when I truly I loved, I really was committed to my own inner union, and I loved myself, loved that the feminine within me, the divine feminine within me, that aspect of myself. I fully loving and accepting and honoring that part of me, which has allowed basically my beloved to enter my life. And There you go. All right, well, on that note, I'm going to feel into whether I just continue that and finish this deck, because there's, like I said, there's several more questions left. And yeah, I mean, I might just do it for the fun of it, because it really has been fun to open up these pathways and just get more comfortable sharing freely and vulnerably on camera, and then sharing it. Yeah, it's helped me stretch my comfort zone, my ability to show up on camera. So, but please let me know your thoughts. If you want to hear more, I'm happy to continue showing up. And I also encourage you to explore these questions. They're deep, they're really deep, and there's a lot of growth that comes from it. So, on that note, wishing you all a wonderful day, and looking forward to connecting soon. All right, much love.